Hi, welcome to TJ and Jodi's house.
Hey. Hey, y'all. Here we are. TJ and Jodi's house, the, what would you call it? The most sought after podcast in the history of the world.
Sure. Well,
in all of podcast world.
Sure,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're running a little bit late getting started today because I was doing some work, like big time broadcaster work, when Jodi came into the studio. Yep. I was recording some commercials with one of our sponsors.
Right.
And it's pretty impressive, wasn't it?
Pretty impressive.
Aren't you impressed by me?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And we have new lights set up and all of this stuff in the studio. Because Jodi and I painted this whole studio, and then last week we were going to talk about all of that, but then we couldn't get the cameras to look right and all, and we'll get into that later. But first, this episode, as well as all episodes of TJ and Jodi's house, is sponsored by Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture. So the holidays coming up, and you're going to have people coming and staying at your house. You're going to need extra beds or new beds, and you want to get those beds, those mattresses, all of that stuff from a place that's going to get you the high quality and the most comfort, and that's going to be Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture. Now, their locations are throughout the Lake Norman area, but they serve the whole Charlotte area because their delivery team is vast. That means it's large, Jodi.
Thank you.
It also seems to be ubiquitous, which means it's everywhere.
Oh, aren't you? Full of some words
I'm throwing
today.
out legal terms at you.
Yeah.
Ubiquitous. And it's not just bedroom furniture and mattresses and stuff, which, by the way, that pillow that I got for my birthday is so comfortable.
That would be a good Christmas gift. Mm-hmm. Really good for somebody.
Yeah. And it stays cool at night. It's just awesome. But they also have living room furniture that is great. They have all of our living room furniture came from Sweet Dreams. And, we're going to be building a studio for this show at home. So I'm sure we'll be showcasing some of our living room furniture and all in that. Yep. From Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture. And their team of designers helps you when you go. So if you go in there and you don't know anything about, what looks good in a house and what doesn't, like Jodi does, and she had to rely on their team of designers to tell her where to put things and all of that. What else? What else is important that people need to know other than, the furniture has to be great if we use it. If my buttocks rest on Sweet Dreams furniture, then they're good enough, surely, for the John and Joan Q listener and viewer out there. So they have locations all over the place. Go to their website, acetj.com/mattress, acetj.com/mattress. Sweet Dreams Mattress and Furniture. Sounds like a sweet deal to me. Okay, so last week, we started that weekend off on Friday whenever the Ace and TJ show was over, the regular old morning show, working on getting this room prepared to paint. So what we had to tape it off. I had to fix a bunch of holes in the wall.
I had to wipe all the cobwebs off the baseboards before we could put the tape up.
Yeah. And the thing about it is that I appreciate the fact, Jodi, that while you were cleaning and everything, you didn't criticize and talk about, how disgusting we were and all that stuff.
Well, it's nasty. But we cleaned. Well, I tried to clean somewhat just to get the tape. And then you taped the ceiling part. I did the bottom, all around the doors, covered up all the equipment.
Yeah, that was all Friday. After I had been up since 2:00 in the morning and done a full radio show and all, and then came in here and started doing manual labor. Then Saturday we went and did the small town adventure thing.
Yes.
All day. And
Yep.
Sunday morning got up early and came back in here to do the painting.
I think we were here at like 8:30. Finished at 5:30.
Yeah, we were all just completely locked in this room the whole day. Painting up and down the ladder, falling off the ladder, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So then Monday came, and it was time to do the podcast, and we were all excited because those, that old wooden-looking wallpaper that we had up was gone, and this nice blue color that Jodi had picked out was on the walls, but we couldn't get the lights, done right to where it would look decent, and then Jodi just got aggravated with it and said, we're not doing a show today.
I think we know who got aggravated. It was not
I tried
Jodi.
to calm her down. I tried to be the positive voice. Say, hey, that's okay. If we can't do video, then let's at least just do an audio so people can have something.
I mean, you were frustrated with the lights, but I'm going to say a big problem was that you were exhausted because you had gone from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So any little problem to you was magnified.
Well, yeah, that's right. I did. I worked late Thursday night and then all day Friday. Yeah.
So you were a little bit grumpy and edgy and all out of sorts over lights. That it was just the first day. I knew it would all work out. It was like,
well, it hasn't worked out completely yet.
Okay,
I mean,
well,
we're
but
still
it's not
messing
the end
with
of
it.
the world.
Yeah.
And then everybody kept saying I looked white, I looked red, I looked pink. I was like, I don't care I know what I look like. So if you want to just go ahead and do it, you were like, no, I'm not even in the mood now.
Yeah, because I wasn't. I was frustrated. And then, because this is supposed to be fun, and our little conversations here on this podcast. But
they would not have enjoyed that.
I mean, I just didn't. The mood was ruined.
Yeah, you were grumpopotamus, and it's okay. You were tired.
Yeah, and then I thought, well, maybe we should just do the audio. But by then, we had spent the whole time that we normally would be recording trying to mess with lights, and so we were late.
Actually, Rob said, let's do audio, and you said no.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not even in the mood for that.
And then later I thought, well, maybe we should. And then I looked at the time and I was like, no, we don't. It's so late. We need to just get out of here.
Well, I'm sure people were so sad.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big outcry from the masses of people saying, where is my TJ and Jodi's house?
I'm sure. Gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, there were big riots in the parking lot. People upset. I'm surprised Sweet Dreams didn't cancel because of all the people in their parking lot.
Right,
Screaming.
protesting.
Yeah, because there wasn't an episode last week.
I'm sure.
But
oh well.
But we're here now, and it looks better.
I can't tell what I look like.
Yeah, it does look. It looks a lot better than what we were trying to do last week.
Yeah.
So there's that. And Jodi is thrilled to be here, just like she always is. Coming in and then having to wait for me to get through with doing some other kind of work before we get started.
I'm just super sleepy today. I had to get up extra early today because our daughter left early this morning. So it's kind of helping her get loaded and everything.
Yeah, and if you can help get anybody anything, it's loaded. All they got to do is follow your lead.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And it was cold, like really cold for the first time of the year this morning. And so everybody's tires were low. Did her tire ever come back up?
She's called me at least 6 times. It went up a little bit. But it's one of her new tires. Not the one that busted, but the she got 2 new tires, and that's one of them. So I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
It was a lot cooler than normal. So.
Yeah, Rob had to stop and get air on his way to work this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even look at mine.
Yeah,
but
it's
anyway,
fine. It's fine. Who cares?
I did move my ferns in last night.
What?
I know. I was afraid they would get too cool for them.
Where'd you put them?
Garage.
Oh, did you know that I was late almost for work this morning?
And I bet I know why, because boy was parked behind you.
Yeah.
I didn't
Did you hear me come back in?
No, but when we came out this morning, I was like, oh, I bet you, because I can tell by the way you park that you had moved this truck.
Yeah. And so that also means when I get home, he's due for a whipping.
Oh, we're not used to having all the cars there. So
No, but he's getting a whipping.
okay.
He's going to get a 20-year-old whipping.
Nice.
He's needed one for a long time. So then I messed up because I was sitting there this morning in a regular T-shirt and shorts. And I said, well, let me see what the temperature is. And then it was like 42 at that time. So I ran back in my closet. I put on long pants and this hoodie. It's not quite T-shirt, but it's not quite sweatshirt.
I like it.
And I put it on, and then I got here, and I thought, oh, my God, I am going to burn up all morning in this thing.
And you didn't.
No, I didn't, but it's probably because the air has been just cranking all morning.
It's cold in here. Why y'all doing that?
Well, because I'm wearing a hot shirt. I can't wear a hot shirt. So, and Riggins took that opportunity to try to argue his point that we argue about all the time, that a hoodie is not, my point that a hoodie is a shirt, not a jacket.
Oh.
Because he said if you were wearing a T-shirt underneath that and wearing the hoodie like it's supposed to be, you could just take it off and you
not
have
a
a
jacket.
T-shirt. No.
I agree with you on that.
He's crazy. He's crazy. All right, so we got a lot more to get into today since Jodi skipped it last week since we didn't have time to do anything. Yeah. We'll get into it all next.
TJ and Jodi's house. TJ and Jodi's house.
Welcome back to the T Jizzle and Jodi's house. I think that's what the kids call me, the Utes of today. So that's a cool thing to say Jizzle, T Jizzle. All right, Jodi, think back to years and years, like probably, I don't know if your mind can even go back this far to our wedding day.
Oh, God, yeah.
So that was 1994 in the year of our Lord. And everybody knows that I'm a jokester. You know that you were marrying somebody who's as they say in my hometown of Winfield, Louisiana, you know that you're marrying somebody full of bull.
Yeah.
You know,
Full
a card, a character.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I didn't do any kind of funny stuff during our wedding ceremony. It was all business.
You wore something funny.
Yeah, but that wasn't because I was trying to be funny. That was just because my sense of style was just completely out of whack. It was stupid. I wore a vest with my tuxedo that had cartoon characters on it.
Yeah.
God, it was stupid. That's probably like when you sit back and go, what was your biggest, fashion regret? And for me, it wasn't having a mullet or tight rolled jeans or any of that stuff, because that was in style.
Yeah. But you didn't wear tight rolled jeans to our wedding.
No. I'm just saying in general,
okay.
I did an aside here.
Okay.
But that's my, about the only regret that I have like that is wearing that cartoon vest in our wedding.
Yeah.
Other stuff was in style. That wasn't in style.
I'm glad that was all on you, though.
Yeah, it was all on me. But there's a thing that's been going around about this couple that was getting married, and then he was reaching into his pocket to pull out the vows that he had written for her. And when he opened the paper and turned it, toward the crowd, it had the words "help me" written on it.
Ew.
So as he's reading it, the back of it says "help me," and then she took offense to that and all that, even though it was a joke.
I was gonna say, it depends. Like if she knows he's always joking and stuff, then
yeah. Like
I would not take offense if you did that.
Really?
No. Even
at that point, I mean, I'm a joker and everything, but at that point, shouldn't the jokes
Go to the side for a little bit.
Yeah, just for, and I have a theory for it. I think that all of that kind of stuff has started happening more and more. The more people have turned away from a wedding being a religious ceremony.
Yeah.
When you're not getting married in a church, and then whoever's marrying you got ordained on the internet or whatever.
Sure.
Like that wedding video where I don't know whether the bride, or it may have been when the bridal party exited. It was in somebody's backyard, and when they said you're man and wife or whatever, they started playing "Crazy Bitch" by Buck Cherry.
Ew.
At the wedding, with kids around and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with these weddings not being in a church, though.
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, if you're, Christian and believe and all that, it doesn't matter where you get married.
Okay.
It doesn't.
I'm glad I didn't know this before we got married.
Well, back when we got married, that's what people did. The churches you have to admit, have kind of become a little bit divided. So I think that has something to do with it.
No, it's that more and more people are not growing up in church. So they don't have a church to go to get married.
Right.
Which is not a good sign.
It's not
for
a good
our
sign,
culture.
But it doesn't mean that people still aren't believers and Christians.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. What church
do you go
to?
If you don't get married in a church, I go to the if I were getting married, I would go get a church first. That's my church home, and then get married in that church if I didn't already have one.
Okay.
But I go to Cornerstone Chapel.
Yeah.
That's where I go.
In your living room.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, we can't get married at Cornerstone. Nobody, like, if our daughter was to want to get married, where's she gonna go?
Well,
Cornerstone?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm. Cornerstone Chapel, if you don't know, is a big church in Leesburg, Virginia. Isn't that where it is? Mm-hmm. And it's really, really gotten popular on YouTube and all, especially during the COVID. And the pastor's name is Gary Hamrick, and he is he's great. Yeah. And so the popularity of their online church viewing and all has skyrocketed over the past few years.
My Bible study's been following him though for years, because he helps guide us on whatever we're studying in the Bible. Yeah, and that's how That's how I came to know him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
yeah, I'm sure that if we just called up and said, "Hey, we watch you on YouTube, and our daughter wants to get married in your big church this Saturday," he'd say, "Oh, cool. You want me to do the service?"
I know who I'd want to marry our daughter, but that person doesn't have a church either right now.
Mm-hmm. Because he's a boss over churches. Yeah. That's why.
So
it's
what
not
I'm
like
saying is,
it's not like he's in between jobs as a preacher.
So let's say that she decided to get married in a barn, and he did it. That's still sufficient to me.
Right. The last wedding I went to, he did it in a barn.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I haven't seen him since.
He disappeared.
No, we're not friends anymore.
Oh, that's sad.
We're not friends.
Ew.
But no, in all seriousness, I'm just kidding about all that stuff. But I think even if you're a joker person, if you can't refrain from playing practical jokes just for that amount of time, for you to have a wedding ceremony and keep it serious. Because even if you don't think it's about God or it's a religious ceremony or any of that kind of stuff, your mind should be focused on this person you love so much becoming your partner for life. You shouldn't be thinking about pranking them,
I know, but some people are not just funny and jokester. They're just silly. To me, that's just silliness. And
you know what I think it is? I think it is a form of narcissism that you can't even go through a wedding ceremony without having to say, "Look at me, look how funny I am, look at me, I'm a clown."
Or maybe that's just the way they handle their nerves.
Yeah, well, it's not right. I think it's just, I think it's a look at me kind of thing.
Okay.
Look at me.
La 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 la.
Look how funny I am. Ah.
Oh well.
And people think that I'm like that. You know?
I mean, you are sometimes, but you know when to turn it off.
Right. So I'm not like that at all. I'm talking
No,
about.
I mean you're a jokester sometimes. I didn't mean like.
Yes. If I'm at like I'm going up to get communion, I'm not going to turn around and do something for the camera.
Goodness sakes.
But our wedding was, it had enough stuff going on in it. Like the music got messed up. Did somebody forget to tell my nephew to walk in or something?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Who
It was
cares?
crazy.
We
Yeah.
still got married.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything. I think if you looked at me and then you looked at, my groomsmen, you would probably laugh because, even though it was in a church, it looked like it could have been, the standing around a jukebox at a biker bar.
Yeah.
I
Minus the tuxedos.
I think my brother was the only one on my side of, as groomsman that didn't have long hair.
Shannon.
Oh yeah, that's right. My friend Shannon. But there were, Ace had really long hair. My friend Hollywood I had long hair. Who else was up? Kevin was Kevin.
Was he in it? Lord, I
Can't remember. But anyway, and then Jody's bridal party looked like a bunch of clowns.
They did not.
Oh my God, Jody,
They had beautiful
so
updos.
They were ugly. Ugh.
Updos, and the bridesmaids dresses were black, and that's in now.
The whole
And the
thing was
flowers were
just-
magnolias.
And Jody's dad made the flower arrangements.
Because magnolias are really hard to make an arrangement because they're only a short time that they're in, and then I don't know, they just have stuff all over them. They're messy.
And they were steel. They were made of steel.
Oh gosh.
Steel magnolias.
See, there's
You get it? But we're not in church right now. And Jody's dad did it because he had, when he was in school, he worked at a flower shop as his part-time job, and he learned how to do all that.
He's good at it. Mm-hmm. Saved us a lot of money.
When they come for Thanksgiving, sometimes when they would come around that time, or during the holidays, he always helps Jody make a wreath.
Or a bow.
Oh, that's right. He does good bows, buttons and bows.
Buttons and bows.
Which I feel a little bit like, okay, now this is my house. You're taking over my responsibility of the bows are my responsibility.
Did you tell everybody how exhausted you were yesterday from your
Oh, I did a lot of
work around the house?
I did a lot of home maintenance yesterday, and it
tell
wore
them
me
what?
out.
Tell them what? Tell them what you did.
Well, there were at least 3 or 4 doors that were squeaking, and I sprayed WD-40 on all of them and fixed them.
And then you had to go to bed. Mm-hmm. You're so ridiculous.
That's I have to come in here and exert intellectual energy as my regular job, and then I got to do manual labor at home. Yeah, and somebody my age, that's rough.
And guess what? This week it's change all the air filters in the house.
Oh, are you hiring somebody for that?
Yeah, you. So you'll be spent for the month.
Yeah, I will.
So that's why I'm giving you a month. So you'll do that this week, and the next month is go under the house and change the filter.
Oh yeah. Well, at least that when I'm going under the house to change the filter, it's not just for some crazy reason for nothing.
Yeah.
Like you have me crawling around under there looking for a dead mouse or something.
But it was actually you that caused that, right? Because you left the propane open trying to kill us all.
Mm-hmm. But I said in the beginning, that smells like propane. That may be. No, I know what propane smells like, and that is something dead.
No, I didn't know what propane smelled like.
That's what you said.
I knew it.
I know that's not propane.
Oh, I knew what
You need
something
to be
dead
a-
smelled like.
You need to be the man and go under the house and find out what's dead under
Well,
there.
be the man and turn off the propane tank. God.
I didn't turn it. It didn't. It just wasn't hooked all the way on there.
Okay.
But I didn't do that.
It was leaking. Well, I didn't do it.
Well, you must have. If it's not working.
I don't
right.
touch your stuff out there.
Whatever. Whatever, Jody.
More from TJ and Jody's house next. Let's go. It's TJ and Jody's house on the Radio Button Network.
Something big happened over the weekend, this past weekend. It was our son, his name's Boy. It was Boy's first public performance. He plays the guitar, and he's never played the guitar in front of people, not even us, up until just a couple of weeks ago. He was, for some way, my little friend Jenny talked him into playing the Star Spangled Banner to kick off this cornhole tournament that she does for first responders charity every year. I don't know how she got him to agree to it
Me
to
either.
begin with, but he came home and said, I'm playing the national anthem for the cornhole tournament.
That was what, like 3 months ago. And he's been practicing.
Yeah, because we hear him up there. You know, he's in his room a lot, and we know he likes heavy metal music. And he's bought 2 guitars lately. So, I mean, I figured he was getting better, practicing and all up there on those guitars. But he wears headphones when he's practicing plugged into his amp, so we can't hear it.
Right.
And a few weeks ago, he came to us and he said, hey, do y'all want to hear what the Star Spangled Banner sounds like at this point when I'm practicing? You want me to play it for you and let you see where I might need work or whatever? And we looked at each other, but we didn't.
No sudden movements.
Yeah, we didn't move anything, just our eyes. And and he's just standing there waiting on a response. And I said, well, yeah. And then Joe's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, we want to hear that.
And then I went and slowly sat down on the couch to wait.
But first, I said, should we come up there? Or you? And he goes, no, I'll go get my amp and I'll bring it down here. So he comes down to the living room, and that was the first time that we had really heard him play anything other than just every now and then, he would send us a video if he's playing something silly or whatever.
Yeah.
But then Saturday he played the.
But wait. So when he did that and he was practicing, okay, he played that for us, and then he just sitting there and just playing around started like, I mean, he was going crazy on that thing and not even trying. Like he wasn't trying to show us anything. He was just messing around. And I was like, oh my gosh, he's like really good at this.
But it seemed like it was much harder for him to play the Star Spangled Banner than play some of that heavy metal
Which is hard.
stuff. Yeah. Which it would seem like it would be the opposite.
Yeah. He was a nervous wreck Saturday.
Yeah, he was. He was nervous.
I mean, a wreck.
But he dressed the part and everything.
my
He
goodness.
put on his black pants and he
Black
had
cargo
a
pants.
American flag bandana coming out of his. It looked like it was coming out of his front pocket, but it was tied to his belt loop out from under his shirt.
He had a do-rag on.
With his long hair and everything, and he did well.
He did. He did really well. I was so proud of him. My heart was just a-racing.
And Jenny was videoing him, but you could tell that while she was videoing him, her hands were shaking. 'Cause
Yeah.
she was nervous.
And then Lainey, our daughter, was in town, and at the end, she goes, "Oh my God, I think I'm about to cry."
Yeah,
She was so proud of him.
like he's a little bitty kid.
Yeah, that was fun to see.
Now, what do you think, Jody? Do you think that's gonna, after performing in front of people and all and getting that feeling, that'll make him want to play more or make him want to like lose interest in it?
Listen, his personality, he may be finished with guitar altogether. because he obsesses over things and goes all in to the extreme. And then you look up one day and he's not interested at all in it anymore. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Is it though?
Well, you're nuts. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Do you ever think that he got? And that's a trait that I have. Is what she's getting at. That's kind of the way I do things sometimes.
You do.
But does anything ever come up with the kids that you see in them that they got from me that you think is good?
Yeah, y'all's photographic memory. I'm jealous of that.
Anything else is just like.
Your photographic memory is
or
good.
how many times I've heard her say when I'm not even in the room, "You're not going to be like your father. You're going to do da da da."
Take the garbage out. That's the main thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the main thing I yell about. I think as a child, something happened with you and taking garbage out.
I take it out.
Oh, God.
I just don't announce every time I do it. Like, look what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm taking out the garbage. I just do it and then mind my business.
Anywho.
But we waste so many garbage bags.
We do.
Yes, because they're never full. The bag is never full when it goes out. And you know what? You hate it when people push the trash down into the can and put more in there.
No,
I thought you did.
No, I'd rather you do that.
That's what I do.
I'd rather you do that than it come. When I've looked at it, sometimes I can barely open it because it's filled to the top.
On.
Okay, people.
Well, you need to start documenting that.
I will.
Because I don't believe that happens.
I'll take pictures too.
Every time I take it out, there's so much room left in the garbage bag because the cans are smaller
I'm fine
than
with
the
you
bags.
pushing it down.
But I would think that we need to take the bag out of the can and sit it there on the floor in the kitchen until it's full.
Ew, no, not doing that.
Because we're just wasting garbage bags.
Oh, gosh.
Think of the turtles, Jody.
Turtles don't have anything to do with a garbage bag.
It's plastic. And people get those turtles and shove garbage bags down their throats.
Yeah. Okay.
If they're not completely full when it goes out.
All right.
I don't know. It's just hard. Not living up to your standards
I know.
ever.
I mean, God forbid, take a garbage bag out. God forbid.
Well, do you want me to just start letting you know every time I do it?
Sure.
And go, hey, I just took the garbage out. I just did this. I just did that.
Yeah.
So
Sure, let me know that you oiled all those three doors, and
that was bad.
Oh, please!
I mean,
So
that
dramatic.
that was quite a chore.
Wait till he has to do all the air filters this week, people. Y'all hear all about it for a month.
No, I can't do that this week. I still can't lift my hands over my head from all the painting.
God, you're sick.
You know, I didn't tell any of the other people at work that I fell off the ladder. And
Why?
I just kept forgetting about it. I didn't think of it again until earlier when we were talking about painting.
Yeah. It was something.
So do you want to tell on here, or you want me to wait and tell on the regular show?
Tell on the regular show.
Why?
Because.
Okay. Well, the TJ and Jodi house listeners are like, what the hell? Well, I'm going to put it this way. I can just tell you this. The situation was I was painting on the ladder. I was on the phone at the same time with our manager and partner, Adam. The ladder is old. We've had it since we got married.
And I was sweeping up the bird's nest under these desks.
And it threw me off the back of it. And evidently it was serious looking enough that Jodi didn't laugh immediately. She was actually concerned.
No,
Are you okay?
I
Are
thought you broke
okay?
something. You actually did a flip back
Yeah.
and then landed on your elbows and knees.
And then 30 minutes later, she was laughing hysterically about it. So
His broken glasses slid across the floor.
yeah.
His phone's on speaker. I did not laugh until I got in the car to go get tape. And then when I came back, I was taping up the baseboards, and I just lost it.
Yeah.
And then I said, how did that happen? And he says, it just threw me off. How's the ladder just pick you up and throw you off?
Because it's uneven, like the legs are not even.
Yeah.
And when I move my weight back, then the ladder shifted and threw me
Why
off.
haven't you gone to get a new one?
They're expensive.
Okay. Well, we've been needing one for years.
Yeah,
Years and years.
I know. And they're expensive. Last time I fell off that ladder, you got mad at me when we were putting up Christmas
That's when you should have
decorations.
gone to replace it.
So I guess I'm trying to say that I'm happy that you didn't laugh at me or get mad at me for it.
I wasn't mad, and I didn't laugh. I
And
was scared you broke
so-
something.
So I think we're growing
Yeah, we are.
on each other. So there's that.
Okay.
All right. We got stuff to do today,
Yeah.
and we have to do it together,
Yeah.
which is usually not the way things go.
Nope.
So this may not be a good day.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure it out as we go along.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for coming in, Jodi.
Thanks for having me.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
It's TJ and Jodi's house on the Radio Button Network.